Hello students. In this class of business statistics, we will be discussing about tabulation. We have already discussed about classification, and after suitable classification of data, the systematic presentation in the form of table is quite essential. I have already discussed about meaning of tabulation and objects of tabulation and importance and advantages of tabulation in my previous class. Today, I will be discussing about difference between classification and tabulation, kinds of tables, construction of statistical tables. In statistical survey, classification and tabulation both are vital processes by means of which gathered information is summarized and presented in systematic manner. But still, there are a few differences between the two. Firstly, the sequence of both is different. First, data are classified, and after classification, they are presented in tables. Thus, classification is the basis for tabulation. Secondly, in basis of similarity and dissimilarity of attributes, whereas tabulation is the process of classified data in row and columns, thus tabulation is a mechanical part of classification. Classification is a method of statistical analysis, whereas tabulation is a method of presentation of data. In the process of classification, the data are classified in groups and subgroups. In tabulation, derivatives like percentages, ratios, etc. are used so that comparison become easy. Now I will be discussing about kinds of tables. There are tables on different bases and can be classified as under number 1 on the basis of purpose. There are two types of tables, general purpose table and special purpose tables. General purpose table is also known as reference table. According to Croxton and Cowden, the primarily and usually sole purpose of reference table is to present the data in such a manner that individual items may be found readily by a reader. It is a comprehensive table which is usually annexed with the report. Census of Population report and other government publications generally use such types of tables quite often. Then we come to another table. Special purpose table is also known as summary table. Such tables are prepared for specific purposes with the help of general purpose table. These tables are relatively small in size and are prepared to make understand effectively some vital conclusions. For preparing such tables from general purpose table, usually averages, percentages, ratios, coefficient, etc. are used by leaving unnecessary data and reorganizing the detailed information in a concise and brief form. On the basis of origin, tables are of two types: original or primary table, derivative table. Original table is the table, one which contains data in the same form in which they were originally collected. Such table is also called as classification table. Derivative table, the original data are not presented in this table, but it presents totals, averages, percentage, ratios, coefficient, etc., which are derived from the original data. On the basis of construction, the tables are of two types: simple or single or one-way table. A simple table is one in which collected data are presented according to one characteristic only. For example, a table of distribution of students number according to different faculties, distribution of population according to different state, etc. It is very easy to construct and understand. Complex table, a table constructed to reveal more than one characteristics of the data, is known as complex table. It can be of following types like double or two-way table. When data are presented according to two attributes or two characteristics, it is called two-way or double table. For example, distribution of students according to faculty-wise, sex-wise, male, females. Triple or three-way table. In such a table, data are presented according to three attributes or characteristics. For example, students distribution faculty-wise, sex-wise, and residence-wise, or distribution of population according to state, sex, and literacy, are tables called triple or three-way tables. Then we come to another, that is manifold table. When data are presented according to four or more than four attributes or characteristics, it is called manifold table. In such a table, data are shown separately according to more than three attributes. For example, presenting the students on the basis of faculties, age groups, sex, and residence, or showing distribution or population according to state, sex, literacy, and religion. Now there are certain rules to be followed for construction of statistical table. That is, there should be a title. For every table, a brief, clear, and full title should be given so that it becomes clear for the data relate to which subject, which time, and on the basis of classification. There should be number of columns and row, keeping in consideration the objective of presentation of raw data. Large number of columns makes the problems complex and unclear. Serial number should be written on each column. The captions of columns and stubs of rows must be clear and concise. Important columns should be made by drawing bold or double lines so as to attract attention of the viewers. The columns of less important information be drawn by light lines. It should be kept in mind that comparable data be written together nearby. Percentages, ratios, coefficients, averages, etc. be written near the original data for which those were derived. The various items in a table should be suitably and logically arranged according to their importance, size, time, place. These items be arranged either alphabetically or geographically. The data which are unimportant or are of miscellaneous nature be presented in miscellaneous column. The information of special importance should be written either in bold letters or in italic letters so as to attract attention of the viewers. Unit of measurement and the extent of approximation should be either be written above the table or with the captions of concerning columns. Proper footnotes are used only if there is necessity to call attention to some figures or headings which need to be clarified. The sources from which the data have been taken should be mentioned either on the left hand side or right hand side below the bottom line of the table. Totals and subtotals in the table should be so arranged that the total of columns and rows tally with each other and are verified. There are also certain general rules which should be followed. In addition to the above rules, the statistician should also follow the general principles. The size of the table should be decided on the basis of the size of paper available. If the data are very large, the same must be presented in several tables. Every table must be complete, easy, clear, economical, and understandable. The process of tabulation is not easy. According to Henry Jerome, to prepare a first-class table, one must have a clear idea of the facts to be presented, the contrast to be stressed, the points upon which emphasis is to be placed, and lastly, a familiarity with the technique of preparation. A good statistical table is a triumph of indigeneity, a technique, a masterpiece of economy of space combined with the maximum of clearly presented information. No doubt, the construction of a good table depends upon the ability, experience, and common sense of the statistician, as has rightly been said by Mr. Bowley. In collection and tabulation, common sense is the chief requisite and experience the chief teacher. So today in this class we discussed about difference between classification and tabulation, and then we discussed about different kinds of tables like general purpose table, special purpose table, primary table, derivative table, one-way table, two-way table, three-way table, four-way table, and then we discussed about rules for construction of statistical table. I hope you all understood. Thank you for this class.